I found out my fiance had a second phone, so I checked it. What I found had nothing to do with cheating. I, 29M, have been with my fiance, 28F, for almost 5 years. We were getting married in 3 months. Everything seemed perfect. Then one night she fell asleep on the couch. When I went to move the blanket, something slid onto the floor. A phone. Not hers. At least not the one she'd always used. It was an older iPhone. No case, no wallpaper, just a black screen. I assumed maybe it was an old phone she never threw away. Then it buzzed. The notification lit up. Payment received $4,000, $4,000. At midnight, she worked as a teacher. There was no reason she'd be getting money like that. I know I shouldn't have. But curiosity won. The phone wasn't locked. The first app I opened was Messages. It wasn't full of flirty texts. It wasn't another boyfriend. It was dozens of conversations with complete strangers. Every conversation started the same way. Thank you. Then pictures. Hospital bills. Rent notices. Prescription receipts. People asking for help. Every conversation ended with a payment. Sometimes $300, sometimes $1,500, sometimes even $5,000. She had sent over $180,000 in the last 3 years. I thought she'd been scammed. There was no way a teacher had that kind of money. Then I opened her banking app. The balance over $4 million. I literally stopped breathing. We lived in a tiny apartment. She drove a 10-year-old Honda. She clipped coupons. She argued with me over spending an extra dollar on guacamole. How did she have millions? When she woke up, I was still holding the phone. She looked at me, then quietly said, "I guess it's time." She started crying before she said another word. When she was 19, her parents died in a car accident. I already knew that part. What I didn't know was that they owned 40% of a software company. A year after they died, the company exploded. She inherited everything. She became a millionaire before she turned 22. She never told anyone. Not even me. I asked why. Her answer hurt. My last boyfriend found out. He proposed 2 weeks later. The day I refused to put his name on my accounts, he disappeared. After that, she promised herself she'd never tell another partner until she knew they loved her. Then she showed me the messages. For years, she'd secretly paid strangers rent, bought wheelchairs, covered chemotherapy bills, paid off student loans, funded funerals, replaced stolen cars. She had one rule. Nobody could ever know who she was. She said, "If they thank me publicly, I stop helping." I asked why she'd hidden the phone. She smiled. Because if I kept it on my regular phone, I'd never stop getting requests. Then she told me something that completely broke me. She had already planned to tell me. Not because we were getting married, but because she'd finally finished the last project her dad started before he died. She handed me a folder. Inside were the blueprints for a children's hospital wing. She had quietly donated enough money to have it built. The condition. It couldn't have her name on it. Only her parents. I just sat there. I realized the woman I'd been planning to marry wasn't living a secret life. She was spending every spare minute trying to change other people's lives. We got married 3 months later. At the reception, nobody knew the bride was worth millions. She still insisted on buying our wedding decorations from Facebook Marketplace. She still argued over paying full price for paper plates, and she still drove that old Honda. To this day, only 4 people know about her money. Me, her lawyer, her accountant, and now, a bunch of strangers on Reddit.